your neighbors must love you.
Yeah, not so much. Good morning, guys, and welcome back. It's Saturday again, so obviously we got a few more projects we're going to try and knock out. I was looking through my Facebook and it did a memory of the last time I worked on the truck, which was a year ago, which is just unacceptable, especially since all the other projects are waiting on that. So I want to go ahead and get started on that. But there's a lot of things that have to happen before that, and I'm going to utilize the time and space while I have it. So for today, I'm going to be trying to get the gauges on the run stand, see if I can get those added on there while I have the space so I can do my welding while everything's out of the garage. Then I need to open up all these LMC boxes that you see in the background all the time, because I still don't know if I have all the panels that I need to start patching all that in. And then I'm going to do the part that makes things difficult. I'm going to bring the ramp truck in the garage, which means I have to play musical cars with everything else and figure out where to keep things while I do that work. But for now, I'll have the truck in the garage, which is going to be absolutely more inspiring to get something done on it now that I'll have a little bit of space to work around it and it won't be in the direct sunlight. Today is supposed to be the coolest day this week at 97 degrees, so you will probably hear the swamp cooler. I apologize for that, but it beats not making videos because of the heat. So let's see what we can get done. And just to clarify, before I get started on any of that stuff, I need to put away everything else in the garage, because every flat surface in the garage is currently covered in stuff that I've left out from previous projects I've not gotten done. So I need to do that before I get started on the rest of it, while I have the space and the ability to do it. So we're going to do that before we try and get started and make another mess.
2 hours later.
Alright, we managed to get the garage clean enough that we can do something in here without tripping over everything we try and do. Next step is we're going to try and start working on this motor a little bit. We need to try and put a control panel on here. I'm not too worried about hooking it up today, but I need to get something mounted so that we have gauges, tachometer, so on and so forth, so that when we try and fire this thing up, we've got some type of information coming out of it. I'm trying to get this motor fired up by the end of the year. That's my short-term goal. Should be completely attainable, but I gotta start doing something with that now. I forgot to order the belts, naturally, but I can at least start doing that fabrication. However, during that time, I went ahead and I had Daniel open up all these LMC boxes that I had lying around so we can start getting an idea of what we have.
Well, what we have is the floorboards for a C10 Chevy. Starting from this section here, this is the rear of the truck. Moving forward into the forward part of the cab, we have the outriggers that hold the whole cab to the frame, a couple of kick panels, and some interior rockers. Aside from that, we also have some chrome trim pieces. Whether or not those get touched up with some anodization, we don't know yet. And we also don't know if we're going to have to order more parts or fabricate more. We're going to find that out when we get the truck into the garage, get the floor taken out, and get these kind of mocked up into place so we can see what's there, what isn't there, what's good, what's bad, and what's workable.
For now, let's try and get some gauges on this thing and get that big truck pulled around. And there you have it. Now we have something to mount our gauges to. So I wanted this to swivel all the way around so that you'd be able to access it from the driver or passenger side of the engine, depending on where I have it in the garage, so that I have the ability to start it up at any time, because why wouldn't you? So that I can either get it from that side, behind it, or from the passenger side. Now I'm gonna go ahead and throw some paint at it, screw the gauges to it, then we can bring in that truck. Boom! Now it's red. Just slap that bad boy on. Now we have start and stop and start. We can operate it from either side of the engine and be able to get our diagnostics to whatever value they be. Boom, project 1 done. Now we have gauges once they're all plumbed in, and we'll have some type of data when we actually fire the motor up to make sure that we've got voltage, the correct temperature, and oil pressure. tachometer as well, so that we can make sure that we're hanging out around that 2,000 RPM mark as we do the cam break-in, since we did install a pretty large camshaft for this engine. Beyond that, now it's time to bring in the truck. So I'll drop the camera somewhere so we can get a couple shots of it, but mind you, it takes both of us because it requires a spotter. The truck is long enough that it actually sticks out on the street by both lanes and some change from my side yard. So I have to have a spotter, so don't mind the lack of footage there, but we're gonna try and get this beast in. Sauce. Saucy. Well, that's it for today. We got gauges on the motor, we got the garage cleaned up, we got an idea of some of the panels we're looking at. I got the ramp truck in the garage, so now I can actually start analyzing what's gonna fit where. That was the main hurdle, because now it's in the garage, I got the other cars moved around so I can work around it. Therefore, I have to get this thing done, which is gonna force me to do what I need to do so we can move forward on this project. For now, however, it's hot. We're done. We're gonna smoke cigars, drink some beers, and call it a day. But now we got something to work with. Thoughts?
That's a lot of truck. It's a lot of work. But you got this.
Think it'll be worth it?
Oh yeah.
We'll see. Wackadoo out.